All right. So we've been talking a lot over the last hour about, what we've been doing to increase the capability set of the platform and amazing advancements in Incorta as a whole. I want to bring this up a level of abstraction and talk a little bit now about what we're doing practically at a number of our customers. And really, I'm going to focus heavily in the finance and accounting space. A lot of the use cases that we get come into us from business teams, of course. And for me personally, one of the biggest values of Incorta is that it's not only focused on just the data engineer or just somebody doing ETL or ELT processes, but with Incorta, line of business teams can truly own their data, can truly ask on-demand questions and really become far more efficient in that process. And that begins with, really getting into what is Incorta providing to them. And again, to abstract away a lot of the detail we've been talking about, in my mind, is as simple as four things. That circle on the far left, but one column over. It's within Incorta. We connect into a variety of operational sources, and you can put like the 200 or 300 icons on the left. We just chose a few. But in really four simple steps, we're going to ingest the data. We're going to map the data, index it. We're going to enrich it and then provide, I mean by modeling, that could be some of the things that Anurag was just showing, or frankly, it could be something as simple as leveraging our semantic structure business schema to take all of that data that we brought in and to present it in a logical fashion to business teams. Moving over one more column, the blue boxes. I've got trial balance and sales orders and inventories and payables, but depending on your use case and depending on the source system, again, the possibilities there are endless. Now, where a lot of our deployments have gone in this particular area, on the accounting side, have been customers wanting to take that information and partners helping them take that information. Please realize that we go through that here, partners play a critical role. And I'll talk about one deployment in particular coming up. But we take that information and it gets pushed over, made available, and then sent out to a variety of other systems and used for analysis. So on the right side, you'll see Workday Adaptive Planning. You'll see OneStream. You'll see BlackLine. You'll see Anaplan. You'll see Oracle Enterprise Performance Management Hyperion Stack. We have customers at Incorta leveraging our platform to push data into and frankly the source data from every single one of those environments on the right. And the blue boxes are just exemplary of the nature of the data that they're making available. Those customers are using to make their forecasting processes more efficient, to make their close consolidation reconciliation processes more efficient. So don't think of Incorta as replacing any of those, not at all the intent. Incorta is your system of reference, that detailed operational data that you need to seed your forecast, that you need to dig into to build an attestation around your reconciliation process. In looking at the top there, XP&A workbench services, I mean, you'll hear us talk often about enterprise or corporate performance management, EPM, CPM. So just look at across the enterprise, planning, analytics, the consolidation side. We like to think of Incorta as a workbench, and that we've got all of that operational data. We can, of course, make that available, send it over. But just as easily, and we have a number of customers doing this, Incorta can take that data back and perform additional actions. Profitability allocation systems, intercompany transaction matching on massive volumes. You have customers doing that by exposing the data in those target systems. Incorta reads it, performs a process, and then sends the results back. And that's all in an automated fashion. So think of Incorta really as it's not just a data platform, but it really is a rules calculation engine. You can do some amazingly unique and really valuable activities in the environment. And of course, at the bottom, we can't miss that, yes, we always have our on-demand ad hoc analytic capabilities. It's one of the things Incorta was founded on. Now that's at a high level. If I drill in just a little bit, what is this more practically speaking? Let's look at the functionalities of Incorta and the other systems, EPM, CPM systems I was talking about a moment ago. As I previously stated, you've got Incorta sourcing from a variety of environments with hundreds of connectors. Incorta becomes that digital twin. We understand the data, we understand the relationships. Everything is reusable in that regard. We've got that rules engine you can apply. We can send the data. We have a live query interface, of course, and Anurag was showing some of that. And we've talked about that for years. But it bears mentioning that, especially with a lot of the movement from premises to cloud hyperscalers, Incorta has been at the forefront of that. We have always made our platform open, not only for tools like Tableau or Power BI or Looker to query. Of course, we have our own interface, but just as importantly, Incorta can send that data out to BigQuery with a number of customers doing that. We take the information, the data we pull in, perform all the activities we've been talking about, and then deliver that out to BigQuery because maybe that's your cloud hyperscaler standard, or it's Synapse, or it's AWS. Incorta has the functionality built in to automate that and to deliver the information and all the rich semantics and structure that we put with it into those environments. But moving back up, if it just functionally, what are we sending? Summarized actuals, plans, operational drivers. And again, it's more focused on that finance and accounting space. Incorta sends that. We'll send your trial balance and recent journals and do that on an ongoing basis. Very common use case for us. But don't ignore the other arrows coming back. Publish plans and versions. Publish gap actuals coming back in. And there's a good reason to lay those right next to your operational details for variance analysis, or frankly, more broad management reporting. And as always, the drill to detail. Incorta, if you remember nothing else of our platform, it's that we preserve the transactional or operational details so that when you need to get to root cause and understand why a pattern's happening, that it's at your fingertips, that you can always see it. Just talking 2 customer stories, and I'm going to turn it over to Jeff Wilgus after these next 2 slides, and he's going to talk you through some of the amazing new capabilities you can use today. But this particular customer of ours, I was with them a few weeks ago, and done by a partner. And as I mentioned earlier, partners are critical to this success, always have been, always will be. But the really wonderful thing about this particular deployment is, phase 1, something that tends to be, 6 months, 12 months, 18 months. In phase 1, in 90 days, from design to delivery, this partner for this client with Incorta replaced SAP BW Analytics. All the inventory, supply chain, all the reports necessary to roll that out and remove a legacy piece of software that frankly doesn't meet the analytic needs of this customer and a lot of customers anymore. And as they move forward, in particular, they're doing Workday consolidation and Workday planning. This is to roll out very, very soon. The data coming out of SAP ECC, some of that data goes directly in, but a lot of the historical balance is the allocations that Incorta is going to take on to replace some of the SAP COPA and other functionality. That's going to get fed from SAP to Incorta. Incorta is going to enrich that and send that into their adaptive environment for financial consolidation, and of course for their plan and their forecast. So this customer will be able to have aligned P&Ls, gap P&Ls, I probably should have put there, for, I want to look at corporate numbers, of course, product numbers, customer plant numbers, vendor numbers, and run those same actuals, the same view, but just cut it a little deeper and deeper. And as they get into more detailed management analytics, I want to maybe look at something a different way. I want to get down to the plant level, the shift level analysis for a given, frankly, farm area where they're sourcing the materials. All of that rich detail is available in Incorta. It's what's being aggregated and sent for their financial process, but it never disappears. It's always there for them, always available. And just one last customer story, and I'll turn this over to Mr. Wilgus. He's been a customer of ours for a long time, company named Energy Solutions. What I love so much about this use case is what's at the bottom of the slide. It's all of the sources. And we always talk about it, a lot of connectors, and we do a lot of things with data. But Here, yes, of course, we're connecting to something like an Oracle EBS. We're amazing at that. Well, we're connecting in the ERPs, or excuse me, ADP, SAP Concur, SAP Success Factors, flat files. Everybody has flat files. But all of that data being pulled to Incorta, and the use cases there are enormous. I've seen at this particular customer treasury modeling, where they're optimizing revolver loans. I have seen intercompany optimization and just compliance around that. And then, of course, general operational analytics, and then the data being sent out to other systems. So we take some data out of Concur, we send it to ADP or vice versa. We're sending data to BlackLine for consolidation. We're sending data to Workday Planning, Adaptive Planning for their plan and forecast. And they're using a variety of front ends to analyze the data. And so I see this as really a fulfillment of the vision that Osama and the founders have created over the years, is open access to data.